Welcome to Keep F Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to bring you another reading for Pisces. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me and keeping me safe. Pisces, these cards just let go here. We have the Queen of Swords, oh boy, and Ace of Swords with the Six of Pentacles. So justice is coming in for you that have been cheated or feeling like you were cheated. Victory is yours to be had. We have Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. So feeling that you can start your own or start off on your own, being more discerning, getting the house for some of you, claiming the house, having a home, being able to build your own home. And we have the Nine of Swords with our Knight of Cups. So feeling worried, or someone is worried about reaching out and having an offer rejected. Pisces, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, but most of all for showing up. And this card flipped. Again, it's the Queen of Swords, so with the Ace of Cups at the bottom. And then we see here we have the Nine, which is the Hermit. So being more discerning and taking care of yourself and coming into the truth, knowing something that was kept from you, or just gaining that overall knowledge on how things were, and being able to take that step back and look directly at what was, and being accepting to what was, being able to move on, overcoming that sense of being left out in the cold, taking care of yourself. That Ace, that Queen of Swords is very prominent. She showed up twice now. And now we have the Queen of Wands. So it could be that there's anger involved in having to face certain truths, or you dealing with third parties, truth about third parties coming out, having that justice come through for third parties or with a third party, someone feeling guilty about third parties. Then we have the Ten of Wands with the Justice card and the Ace of Cups. So putting down the burden and knowing that the truth is being told, and being able to take care of yourself and go off on your own. Having that burden relieved. Pisces, things are looking up for you. This is for the month of October that I'm reading, and things are still the planets are still shifting and in retrograde. I think Saturn in Pisces. So this is where you're looking back, you're really reflecting on what was, and thinking that you really want to move off from where you were and have that peace of mind. You're ready to go. The information that's coming in is really sudden. You just got certain information. And again, Queen of Swords shows up with the Three of Wands this time. So knowing that, okay, I can change my plans accordingly because of sudden information that had come in, and you're ready to move off. You're looking back again, looking back at what was, and knowing that my future is going to be different because certain information has come in, and this is the end of a cycle that you're looking back on. What was is no more, and what will be is a commitment to yourself with that Ace of Cups. And now we have the Two of Cups. So being that you're committed to taking care of yourself and looking at the positive side of things. Pisces, I'm not sure if I thanked you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, but most of all, I'm grateful that you show up for this reading. cards that I'm using are the Golden-Rod Nouveau Tarot, and that's by our darling Giulia Massaglia. In that, I use the Celtic Cross, and there's the energy card that goes around you that you don't know about. I'm using the energy oracle cards to go in deeper and identify that energy as to where it comes from or what it means to you. That is by Sandra and Taylor. And here we have our Four of Cups. So we went from the Ace to the 2, then we skipped over the 3, we hit the 4. So this would be a healing, an emotional sense of healing. That time that you spent waiting for things to change is worthy, because now you get to start over, you get to start anew. You maybe have an offer come in. But that Four of Cups is where you get a handle on what's been and what you want, and really taking care of yourself, choosing for yourself what is best for you, because the planets are shifting. And we have Jupiter that's gone into Cancer now, and again the deck split with the Tower and the Ace of Pentacles. So again, sudden change. Things will just turn on a dime for you, that where you think it's not coming in, it will come in, and you'll have a new beginning, and you'll have that peace of mind with that Six of Swords. And we have cards that are leaping out. So we have the Seven of Wands with our Seven of Cups, and I was thinking about the 7 here. Then we have our Emperor with our Six of Cups. So taking responsibility, or really taking that role of fatherhood about what was in the past, or with certain people who were children or are children or behaving like children. You're stepping away from that. You are really deciphering what your attitude should be, and moving with that, in maintaining your integrity, and really paying attention to what was wrongly taken from you, or where and what role you played as party to being cheated or having cheated someone. Responsibility is coming up here, and again, more responsibility as a father, taking care of the children, making sure that the children are cared for. Could be a father's being hospitalized, or going into therapy to have a second chance at being a father, depending on your situation. Could be for paternal care, where fathers or a father is stepping up and wanting to provide and be responsible for the role of being a father, making amends with children, even if they're adults. Pisces, you're quite busy for the month of October. But then that sudden change where things are turning around for you. The overall energy of the reading, I'm going to be using the Mystical Shaman Oracle that's created and illustrated by Alberto Villoldo with Colette Baron-Reid and Marcela Lobos. And here we see the again, ending up of a cycle with the 13 and the 3. So really growing and changing and seeing to the future, seeing to changing, and rewards coming in for work that was done, which again does change your future. And you learn from the past, as well as what you're expecting to see change. You're going to make changes. You've decided that if you're taking responsibility, that certain things must change. Pisces, we'll do one cut and we'll take the cards at random. Just starting off again with standing in your integrity, and that's where you are now. You're facing the changes that are coming, or you're anticipating change. You're taking the higher ground for some, because there is a healing that needs to take place. That lack of trust needs to be overcome, and it's the effort that you're putting in to complete a cycle. You're being tested as to trust, or will you trust? You're at the point of desertion. For some of you, yeah, you want to protect yourself. You want to get away from. And for some, it is a question of justice coming in, where you may have felt that you had been deserted, and now you want to know the truth about certain situations, depending on where you stand, and you want to see that justice is served. Getting a sense of revenge here, where people are angry, and it looks like it, because she could be very angry in the sense where the truth has made her angry. She wants the truth because she's not getting the truth. She's angry. Here we have the King of Wands. So we're going from air to back to fire. So the time that has passed, the energy that was put out, and the knowledge that has been acquired. You've been in a position where you either were the father, you are a father, or you are taking responsibility and being honest, wanting to have the truth, or just telling the truth, or waiting, because she waits, being patient and knowing that the truth will come. Here we have justice. So it is the Ace of Swords here with our King of Swords and our Queen of Swords. So there's quite a bit of support. Maybe this is where the standing in the integrity, or taking the higher ground, justice being served, being that you may have received a judgment, or you've been waiting and it has arrived, and that news now has set you up in a position where you need to take the higher ground in order to have what you think is owed to you. Here you are looking at what was and still not trusting. So it could be that whatever the judgment was not in your favor for some, and for others it is a question of being honest with the self and not allowing others to take advantage. Here we see the Two of Wands, and that brings us to changing of plans, or really looking into where I was and where I want to go, because of the burden of truth or the burden of work. You're really looking into making a change and hoping that that change will bring in abundance. More wands. So it's a lot of work that's involved here, and has been involved, because you're at the point of graduation where you come to recognize that certain information has put you in a position where, again, you need to be responsible, and you want to take that responsibility. For some, again, it is about having that family, placing yourself in the role of parenthood, fatherhood, etc., or just taking that step with a partnership to build on a legacy that is for the family. Could be that you want to build your own, but here is a partnership. So you are dealing with maybe someone you don't want to deal with, and you're looking for ways to be responsible and cooperative. But again, it is a balancing act that you are getting into, and this is where it's going to get a little complicated, because whomever you're dealing with, they are either immature or they want to be on their own. They don't want that partnership. They want, and this is why changes in plans are happening or going to happen, because what they want is a short term, whereas what you want is a long term. And it's not going to last, because someone is really planning on moving on. And this is where it gets complicated. What you are looking for and what they are ready to provide it's not going to be enough. You will either be the one to say, I really don't want this, or they will, really depending on the situation between you and the next person. It could be a fire sign, doesn't have to be. It is someone who is interested only in a short-term relationship. And there it is. We have the truth will be revealed. The Justice card showing with, again, the Three of Wands. So the Two of Wands with the plans to be changed, and the Three of Wands changing the plans. And again, the Eight of Cups will show that you will go your separate ways, regardless of the commitment that you want to put in place, where you are standing in the position where you want to be committed. You are committed. You've taken the higher ground. You are being responsible. You are being honest. But at the same time, they are not. They are fearful. They don't want to put in the extra effort. This is why they are taking on the role of the Knight. They want just to have a short-term stay with you, regardless if it's your children that you're dealing with or if it is a partnership. Here we see at the bottom of the deck the Three of Wands with the Strength card, and again, ending up of a cycle. So holding back on changing plans or taking on a new level of education, like a higher level of education, going to school. Someone is pulling back on that and squashing the idea of having a future based on what you are setting up for, because where you are, it's a graduation. It is a celebration of contract, a celebration of achievement, whereas they're pulling back from having this achievement, putting an end to a cycle where it's not a failure, but it is, again, sudden change in plans, where you were planning long term, they're not planning long term. They're shifting and going in a whole different direction of the original plans. And this is where I say sudden change in plans at the beginning of this of the shuffle, because of being stubborn, because there's a mindset that doesn't want to change, whether it is you or whether it is them. Somebody is not willing to bend. Somebody is being very determined to have it their way or the highway. Again, there's an argument. There's a very aggressive argument that will come, and this is where they're going to move on. Could be because of indulgence, because it is what they want. Now be very careful, because what they want is very manipulative. Again, they could be saying what you need to hear in order to get that approval or the guarantee, but then it does not work out, because the truth that is revealed will show that There is a sense of revenge. I think I mentioned that. Someone wanting to get even. Someone wanting to get even for, could be mistreatment, something from the past where it was secrecy involved, confusion with another woman. Here we go. All right, so basically, yeah, it's going to be a rough ride for you throughout this month of October, Pisces, and you're in for a hell of a fight if it is that you're thinking that you want to be in a particular relationship with someone. They're not going to give in. You as well may not want to give in, because either both of you are being stubborn or one of you is really being stubborn. And having that sense of independence, the truth is all I could say. The truth is coming out. You are going to be very wary of this person, and you should, because they don't want to be in a long-term relationship. They want things their way. And again, whatever you've been discussing or the judgment that came out, you need to really put yourself where you are right now is in a self-defense mode, and you're willing to open up and have that celebration, but then you may want to change your mind because they're being manipulative. They're going to be, if they're not already showing that, with the constant changing of plans or changing mind or being aggressive with what would be the truth and what they really want. Again, there's anger, there's third parties involved, and the lie of I want to start over with you for some. I really leave it there because it's a question of what fits your situation and what you think will be truthful and honest as a response from the person or people that you're dealing with. It's really a sense of manipulation, that they are thinking they're in charge and that they can control what you do or how you do what you do. Again, there's a lot of wands here, so it's really about taking action, and you are at the position of wanting to be responsible. I just keep saying, be careful with how you deal with them, because they are only in for the short term. They're not in for the long term. They will leave, or you will leave by the end of November. All right, let's take a energy card for the Knight of Wands. What is that energy surrounding the Knight of Wands? Strategy. There it is. The manipulation. They are planning, and Seven of Swords and Five of Swords coming together is it's not very positive at all. They're planning to take advantage. Let's see what the strategy is here. Making a plan. This card shows a pen, journal, compass, and key. When you receive this card upright, it indicates that this is the optimum time for setting up a very specific strategy for achieving your goals. Now, this is what they want. Write about the direction you want to go in. Consider any potential change in course that may be needed. Be aware of the particulars regarding your goals and have some conscious plan in mind. Structure the short-term goals needed to make your long-term goal a reality. This card is telling you to spend some time setting things in order. It's time to take full control. Add thought to action and set your sights on the road ahead. Now, this is what they are about. So if it is they're thinking of taking advantage of your situation, then be aware, because you are suspicious and you're growing more suspicious. Let's see what the reverse card would indicate here. When the strategy card is reversed, it indicates a stall in progress due to lack of planning. You may have a goal in mind, but no specific ideas about how to achieve it. Or you may have found that your original plans have hit a wall, and it's now time to reevaluate things. If this is the case, remember that the path of least resistance may be tempting, but it rarely leads anywhere new. Don't let the mundane tasks of life eat up all your time and take you off course. Instead of floundering and wandering around in confusion, put some significant mental effort into starting or renewing a comprehensive plan of attack. This card reversed is warning you to get out of the role of passive observer and become the author and director of your own destiny. Again, you have the information, or you know something. Judgment has been passed, and it's been in a waiting. It's been in a while. It's been a while since it happened, but that information you are using in defense here. Be very careful, Pisces. Your position as a parent may be what they're planning to use against you. The affirmation is, I plan the necessary steps to achieve my goals, and I am willing to take action in that direction. I am flexible, persistent, and prepared. And I think you really should pay attention to that. All right, let's see what the energy for this read in general. This would be, that was for them. That was how the energy around you, they're working things out. They're strategizing. They're looking to make changes, sudden changes. But something will come to an end because of this. Let's see what the energy, overall energy for this read is for Pisces. Luminous Warrior. Oh, that sounds like a good thing for you, Pisces. Again, very intelligent here. This is 32, so it would be the 5. We saw the 5 of Swords. We saw the 5 of Pentacles too. Let's see where this warrior will take us. The luminous warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He's impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than on what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. So there it is. We have our queen. We have our king. Here we have another king. And then we have our 7, standing in your integrity. Being true. Exercising that sense of contract. Really upholding the contract. Staying with the truth and having the justice come. That's your ally. Let justice be on your side at all times, Pisces. The luminous warrior reminds you it is important to focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or with the world. Remember that intention follows attention. So focus on your positive traits. Feed your light with more light until you feel truly empowered. Then there will be little need for action as you resolve all situations from within. And on that note, Pisces, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, love and light.